Welcome to India Uncharted, your favorite channel where we discuss interesting stories about India's culture, spirituality, mystery, and a lot of secrets related to its mythology. I am Kaushik.
And I am Jayanta. Yes, Kaushik, you're right. Like last time, we will explore this time also about some of the mysteries, more mysteries about the Naga Sadhus.
That is right. In fact, one of the things that came to my mind is about the hierarchical structure of the Naga Sadhus. Have you ever thought about whether there is a possibility that they have a structure?
Wait a minute, you are talking about this. There is a rank and organizational structure in the Naga Sadhu. They normally go like just like that with simple.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, you're right. They, you know, just to give you an analogy, like in the corporate world, they have bosses, and they also have different people at different levels.
So they are like following a boss and schedule and reporting structure like that?
I would not say schedule and reporting structure, but they do have a proper organizational structure to manage their day-to-day operations.
Wow. So tell me more about this organization and how they function and more.
Sure. So let me break it down. In fact, all the Naga Sadhus belong to, as you know, different akharas, but the primary ones are the Juna Akhara, the Niranjani, and Mahanirvani. These are the three akharas.
Okay.
And most of the Naga Sadhus belong to those akharas. Absolutely.
So you mean that this Naga Sadhu that we see as a random people, they are not, they are belonging to some akharas, some organization.
Absolutely.
So let's talk more about the hierarchy that you are mentioning and how does it, all the details.
Okay, so it actually starts with Acharya Mahamandaleshwar. He is at the top of the akhara.
Meaning he is the top boss.
He is the top boss. So think of him almost like the CEO, right? So
Okay.
he is the top guy.
Okay.
And he is responsible for all the main decisions and all that.
Who are the rank after that?
In fact, there are two other levels, and both of those levels also are part of the leadership group. They are called Mahamandaleshwar and Mandaleshwar. So these are almost like divisional leaders. And what I mean by divisional leaders, I mean, as you know, these akharas are huge, and they have to manage a very large group of people. So you can think of these Mahamandaleshwars and Mandaleshwars as people who are managing such large operations.
So what are the other different rank? Like these three are there, and there are other ranks also?
Yes, so there are 5 other ranks, and those are the people who are engaged in the day-to-day administrative work. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is called Kotwal, and Kotwal's job is to be the messenger between the Naga Sadhus and the Akharas.
Okay.
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 Then you have the pujaris. I mean, as you know, you can understand the pujaris are the people who are doing pujas at the temple most of the time. Then you have Thanapati, and Thanapati are the people who are like commanders. I mean, these are the people who maintain discipline across that entire organization.
Okay.
And then finally, you have two other levels, Sri Mahanta and Mahanta. And both of those are more focused on spiritual discourses and spiritual leadership, providing spiritual leadership. So these are the 5 other levels, as I mentioned, who are responsible for day-to-day administrative work.
So the top 3 and then 5. Is this all, or do you have more?
No, actually, there are 2 more, and those you can consider as the lowest levels.
Okay.
And at the lowest level are obviously those people who are interested in becoming Naga Sadhus, and they're in the process of getting initiated. So think of it almost like they are serving a probationary period, and they are helping all the other people, other office bearers in day-to-day work. And they are called Vastadharis. And then we also have those people who have already graduated, meaning they have already been initiated, and they are now called Naga Sadhus.
Oh, that means you have 10 so-called category or
correct,
10 levels.
Correct.
And then after the Vastudhari, that is actually Naga is starting from that point.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
So Kaushik, you told about the details of this 10 category. How somebody is decided that who is getting promoted or not promoted, And is there an election or selection, or how does it work actually?
Obviously, they have their own process of doing that, and typically, what happens is the senior sadhus or the senior leadership, like I discussed earlier, those are the people who make those decisions of who from the lowest level gets promoted to the next level, and this depends on discipline, the wisdom shown by those people,
Okay.
and their track record in the akhara of whether they are following all the rules and regulations. So based on all of those factors, they decide.
So they keep a record of how the things are moving and going. How do they manage on a regular basis?
Yeah, so that is also a very interesting question. They have most of the akharas have what is called an executive council. I mean, they don't call it an executive council like in the corporate, but it is very similar to the executive council. They actually call it Sri Pancha, and Sri Pancha basically means sacred five. And these are five of the topmost people, leaders in the akharas, who sit together and make some very important and key decisions for the akhara.
So that decision, meaning any organization-wise, any major decision or drastic decision, so these sarpanch, they decide, huh?
Yeah, so those are the people who decide. Sri Pancha council members,
Okay.
they decide.
Let me tell you something. Now, few days ago, we know one of the new Naga sannyasis, IIT Baba, that Abhay Singh, he was expelled from the Akhara. Do you think is this committee took the decision?
I'm sure not one person would have decided to do that.
So it was a committee.
Right, it's such an important decision, so I'm 100% sure that the entire committee or the council or the senior most people from the akharas would have made that decision.
Wow, that's interesting. Kaushik, you explained very well about the 10 different categories and all, and you mentioned about the different akharas. Are they all akharas follow the same structure or?
Yes and no. I mean, generally they follow a structure. I mean, all the akharas follow a structure. There could be some variations depending upon which akhara it is. Like, for example, the Juna akhara, they are very big on making all the decisions through this council that I was telling you about.
Okay.
Plus, some of the other characteristics of Juna akhara, I mean, they are the largest akhara with about 10,000 members. And interestingly, even in their Varanasi mart, they have both types of Naga Sadhus. They have both, Astradhari and Shastradhari, right? So, in other words, these are two different branches that they have within the same akhara. Juna akhara is the only one that does that, not the other two akharas.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And the other interesting thing that I certainly remembered, they are actually one of the akharas which is also very inclusive. Okay, and they accept membership from different parts of the community, including even the Kinnar community, the transgender community.
So Kinnar is the transgender.
Yes, which other akharas don't.
Wow, that is amazing. That was inclusiveness was there for so long into this so-called religious sect.
Correct.
I can't believe it.
Correct.
Okay, that's
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah, so I hope that you learned something new, but this was all based on our research, and if you guys have anything that you want to share with us, please feel free to write that in the comments, and go ahead and subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to bring you similar topics in the future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.